Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are really diving into the science behind the viral video. We're going to look at how one company, Higgsfield, is using AI to take a simple idea, or get this, even just a web link, and turn it into social content that's literally engineered to go viral. So let's just start with a question that I think plagues just about every creator and marketer out there. Why is it so incredibly hard to make a video that looks so simple, so effortless, but just blows up and goes viral? I mean, you see them every single day on TikTok and Reels, right? But trying to actually crack that code yourself, it feels next to impossible. Well, the answer, as it turns out, comes down to this set of kind of invisible social rules. Yeah, they're not written down anywhere, but they are secretly dictating what we watch and, more importantly, what we scroll right past. And honestly, getting them right is the entire difference between a viral hit and a total dud. And we're talking about really subtle cues here. Things like how fast you hook the viewer in, those first 3 seconds. What's the rhythm of the cuts? What kind of camera motion are you using? It's all about creating a video that feels perfectly native to whatever the current trend is. That right there, that's what separates the viral hits from the flops. Okay, so this is the exact problem that a company called Higgsfield is setting out to solve. They're what's called a generative media platform, and they are building this incredibly intelligent system on top of really powerful AI. Think OpenAI's language models and the latest video generators. And their whole goal? It's to give one person, a solo creator, the power of an entire creative agency. So the real challenge, the core of the problem, is figuring out how to translate our vague human ideas into a set of concrete instructions that an AI can actually understand and follow. That's the crucial bridge they had to build. And, Higgsfield's CEO, Alex Mashrabov, he just puts it perfectly. He says, we don't think in technical terms, right? We don't give instructions like a shot list. We think in feelings. We say things like, hey, make it more dramatic, or I want this to feel really premium. And this right here is that exact translation gap in action. On one side, you've got our human desires, all that emotion and intent. And on the other side, you've got what the AI actually needs. These super precise rules for shot timing, for motion, for what to focus on visually. 2 totally different languages. So, Higgsfield's solution to this is something they call a cinematic logic layer. The best way to think about it is like an expert creative translator. It takes your intent, that feeling you're going for, and then it uses AI to build out a super detailed, concrete video plan. And this is all before a single frame of video is even generated. It's the thing that finally bridges that gap between us and the machine. And this is what leads to their next really big idea. What if you could take all the guesswork out of going viral? What if you could turn it into a repeatable, scientific system? See, for Higgsfield, virality isn't some kind of magic lightning in a bottle. It's math. They track this really key metric they call share velocity. Now, this is the tipping point, right? It's where people go from just liking a video to actively sharing it. It's that moment when the shares start to outpace the likes. That's when you know a piece of content has stopped being passively consumed and is starting to spread all on its own. So how do they capture this? Well, their AI goes to work analyzing literally thousands of top-performing videos. It's looking for those recurring patterns, those successful structures. Then, it distills all those findings and encodes them into a library of video presets. And because social media trends change like in the blink of an eye, their system is creating around 10 new presets every single day just to keep up. So, the big question, does it actually work? Oh yeah, the results are pretty stunning. Videos that are made with this system see a 150% increase in that share velocity metric. That means people aren't just watching, they are hitting that share button way more often and way, way faster. And it's not just about shares. The system also leads to a 3 times higher rate of what they call cognitive capture. Now, in simple terms, that just means the videos are stickier, they're more memorable, they stay in the viewer's mind, and are much more likely to influence what that person does next. I mean, that is a massive, massive impact. Okay, so we've talked about all this complex stuff happening in the background, but how does it all actually work for a user? Let's take a look at the actual workflow. They have this feature called Click to Add, and it makes the whole process incredibly simple. I mean, all a user has to do is paste in a link to a product page. That's it. From there, the AI analyzes the whole page to figure out the product, the brand's intent, everything. Then the system automatically maps all that info to a trending video preset. And boom, the video model generates the final ad, completely ready for social media. Now, behind the scenes, the system is acting like a really smart project manager. It's not just using one giant AI for everything. Nope. Instead, it's routing different tasks to different models based on what they're good at. So for precise, predictable jobs, it'll use a faster, more focused model. But for those really complex interpretation tasks that need deep reasoning, it calls in the big guns, a larger, more powerful model. And their CTO, Yerzat Dulat, explains it this way. It's not about finding the one best model. It's about understanding their behavioral strengths. Some AI models are just great at being precise, while others are amazing at creative interpretation. It really is about using the right tool for the right job. So when you pull all of this together, what you're looking at is a really fundamental shift in how creative work is going to be done. And not in the distant future, I mean in the very near future. What this means is that the very nature of being a creator is changing. The job is shifting away from worrying about all the technical details. The software settings, the editing timelines, all that stuff. As AI starts to handle the execution, it frees up creators to focus on what actually matters: the story, the tone, the message. We're basically moving from being tool operators to becoming true creative directors. And all of this leaves us with one final and, I think, fascinating question. As AI continues to take care of more and more of the technical how behind creating things, all those barriers to entry, they're just falling away. The only real limit that's left is our own imagination. So the question is, what stories will you tell?